please.
Jason, are you captain for All About That Base? So you have Jason,
Yes.
and then Rebecca. Who's your captain? It's Anne?
Me.
It's
Yep.
Anne.
Anne, excellent. Anne is captain for Add Technically We're Awesome.
Oh, I haven't seen Ann in a long time either.
I know, Bob. I just said that to Ethan yesterday. I was like,
Catching up with Ann and Jason, that's great.
All right, we'll do a
In the
quick
same day.
test buzz. Andrew, can you give me a test buzz? Jason jumped the gun, always. Andrew, quick test buzz. Thank you. Jason, you're already in. Kirsten? Thank you. And are we still waiting on one more for you, Jason? Or are they in?
John is in.
John. Okay, John, are you logged into the buzzer yet?
It's joining now. It's just going
great.
slow.
All right. So whenever you're in, you can give a test buzz. Add Technically, Nina. Excellent. Rebecca. Anne. And Mike. Great. Let me know if you have any issues there, John. So as always, the buzzer is web-based. So if you see any issues, don't be afraid to raise them. Just come off of mute after a question is finished and raise your concern. Typically, we know pretty quickly if the buzzer's not working because there'll be a very easy question and everyone won't buzz in and we'll realize that it's not functioning. John is in many times.
Okay, it's lagging really hard for my
Jump.
That's how we intend to win.
Yeah. I've never seen that before. That is impressive.
I don't care how many Johns there are. You only get to buzz in twice per category.
That's the power of data science right there, guys.
Yep.
Data science gone wild.
So John, let me just double check. So if you hit the buzzer for me again. Okay, so it's not, it seems to be somewhat in real time, so it doesn't seem to be lagging anymore, but the login was an issue. So we'll just deal with John's multiple personality here on the buzzer. Shouldn't affect anything. But beyond that, everybody seems good to go. I will remain on headset, but turn it over to Bob.
Okay, thank you. And hello to any observers who may be clicking in to view what have been some wonderful matches. And we expect to have a good time today. With the blue team, Add Technically We're Awesome. I'll just call them Add Tech or the blue team. And All About That Bays, the red team. I've already mentioned one of the two key things I have to mention, which is you are not allowed to buzz in more than twice per category. If you buzz in a third time in that category, your team automatically loses points. There'll be no warnings on this. You'll know what the category is, so you'll know whether you want to jump in early and get some early points or hold off till the really tough ones. Remember, there's no consulting on any toss-up questions. The only consultation comes, and this is of interest to Ann and Jason, the captains, the only consultation comes in a steal situation where we would love it if you would all unmute so we can all hear the conversation. And Ann and Jason, let me get a thumbs up that you will say final answer so that I know after all that consultation which you're choosing, or you can say pass, of course, in which case no harm, no foul. Okay, I urge you to sit back, or no, I don't urge you to sit back. I urge you to lean in and get ready to jump in on that buzzer. Remember, you may buzz in at any point. You don't have to wait for me to end it. And of course, it does not have to be in the form of a question. But in whatever form you get it, please everybody mute. Kirsten, I think you have to mute. There we go. Okay, good luck teams, here we go. Our first category is a real pop culture one, Chairman of the Federal Reserve. Chairman of the Federal Reserve. I can tell you that Beyonce will not be a response in this category. For 1 point, before he became chairman in 1979, Paul Volcker appropriately worked as an undersecretary of this cabinet department. Before he became chairman in 1979, Paul Volcker appropriately worked as an undersecretary of this. Jason?
Treasury?
Sure, 1 point for the red team. Treasury is correct. For 2 points, chairman of the Federal Reserve. Chairman from 1936 to 1948, Mariner Eccles had reached this monetary benchmark of success by the time he was 22? Chairman Ann.
What is being a millionaire?
Millionaire is correct. He was a millionaire by age 22, and that's first blood for the blue team. Federal Reserve Chairman for 3. Roy A. Young's tenure included this October 24th, 1929 event that shook the economy. Less than a year later, and
What is the stock market crash? The Great Depression starting?
I'm going to accept it. I probably wouldn't in the first round, in the second round, but in the first round, they don't say they want the color. It's a Black Thursday. It was a triple stumper on the show, but that's what it was. So I'm going to allow that and give you the 3 points. But I'm also going to remind you, you're out of this category, and she does the Vegas dealer. I'm out. Okay, her team will have to carry on without her, but the full red team can go with this Federal Reserve Chairman for 4. This man, who served 4 different presidents over 20 years in the job, was first appointed in 1987. This man, who served 4 different presidents over 20 years in the job, was first appointed in 1987. Rebecca. Rebecca, unmute
Yes.
and answer.
Yep. Sorry. Alan Greenspan.
And Greenspan is right for 4 points. To wind up the category, we have to have a surprise substitution, surprise substitution, surprise substitution, la la
La
la
la la la la.
And even though the category is different, and you're still out of this because it's still a category. The surprise substitution category is oh yes, election year before and after. Election year before and after. Now, to make that clear, that would be like Paul Rubin's alter ego who used to run Godfather's Pizza. That would be Pee Wee Herman Cain. Got it? Pee Wee Herman Cain. So that wasn't it, but here's the clue for 5 points for everybody but Ann. National Wildlife Federation's magazine for kids, that's a conservative ex-senator from Pennsylvania. Jason.
Ranger Rick Santorum.
That's correct. Ranger Rick Santorum. Very nicely done, Jason. And I'll be announcing the score every 3 categories, but I can tell you it's pretty tied up. Okay, we go from Federal Reserve to at the beach. At the beach. And Ann, you're back in. Everybody's in for 1 point. Van Heining's cockle is a common one of these remnants found on the beach. Van Heining's cockle is a common one of these, Ann.
Seashell.
Seashell is correct. Van Heining's cockle. Watch for those. And if you don't bring your own cockle to the beach, you can find his. For 2 points. Standard number of colored wedge-shaped panels on your basic inflatable beach ball. Standard number, Nina?
2.
Incorrect. Red team, you may consult on this highly important question. Standard number of colored wedge-shaped panels on your basic inflatable beach ball. You may unmute and consult, and you got 10 seconds, and you can pass or answer, final answer. Go ahead.
We're going to answer.
Go ahead.
We're saying 4.
No. So no harm, no foul. Both teams are wrong. On the show, the wrong answers were 12 and 8. Correct question, Dan? I've eliminated 2, 4,
No idea.
12. No?
2, you've eliminated 2, 4, and 12. I'll say 8.
Nope.
Okay.
No, that was wrong too. 6. 6 is the correct question answer. What is 6 is the correct question. Back to the beach for 4 points. That was for 3 points. That was an annoying question. Here we go for 3. Grand Anse, one of Grenada's main attractions, is advertised as 2 miles of white this. Kirsten? Unmute and answer, please.
Sand.
Sand is correct. 2 miles of white sand. Nicely done. For 4 points, at the beach. It's Spanish for hut. It's Spanish for hut. Andrew?
Cabana.
Cabana is right. And I could have used that clue if it were a football category too. It's Spanish for hut. Cabana is right. Finally, for 5 points, at the beach. The brand Gordon and Smith began by making these in a Pacific Beach, California garage in 1959. The brand Rebecca.
Surfboards.
Surfboards is right for 5 points. The lead already going back and forth, back and forth. We love this kind of match, don't we, Dan?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Thank you. Our third category is Illinois state symbols. Seems wacky to me. Any of you in Illinois, you have a big grin on your face, but remember, you can only buzz in twice. Illinois state symbols. For 1 point. The Gold Rush variety of this is the state fruit. Hopefully, one a day will keep the doctor away. Rebecca?
Apple.
Apple is right for 1 point. Illinois state symbols for 2. Grab your partner and head to the hoedown for a little of this type of folk dance, official since 1990. Rebecca?
Square dance.
Square dance is right, and you are out of this category. So hands off. Everybody else for 3 points. This red bird beat out the bluebird as an official state symbol. This red bird, Kirsten?
Robin.
Incorrect. Break for the blue team. You may consult. This red bird beat out the bluebird as an official state symbol.
What do you guys? Does anyone? Yeah, cardinal.
Cardinal is the only thing I can think of.
Only, how many points is this question?
Red Jay.
3 points.
No, that's a blue jay.
Blue Jay. Oh, Jays aren't red. Okay.
And do you want to go with cardinal?
Cardinal.
Yes, I want to go final answer cardinal.
Cardinal is correct for 3
And-
points.
That's odd because the Cardinals and the Cubs hate each other, and I have my Cardinals cup right here.
Cardinal sin. So here we go for 4 points. These ad libs are not easy. For 4 points, this orange and black butterfly reigns as the state insect. And
Monarch.
monarch is right for 4 points. Finally, for 5 points in Illinois state symbols, who knew there were so many? The state tree is the Quercus alba, or white this. The state tree is the Quercus alba, or white this. 10 seconds. For those watching, there's no consultation on these toss-ups. Each player must decide to come in with an answer and whether or not to buzz with it. Time. Well, no harm done. It was a triple stumper on the show. Dan, want to take a stab?
No.
It's the white oak. The white oak, Quercus alba. Okay. At the end of the first half of the first round, blue team 23, all about that Bays 8. But that's, as I always say, it's essentially a tie. We had a team that was like 30 points down in the midpoint, and they ended up winning by 10. It was really, it can go either way. But that's where we are. Our fourth category, facts about authors. Facts about authors. These are interesting, I think. For 1 point, now this is a fan. James Joyce learned Dano-Norwegian to read this playwright's works in the original language. Now this is a fan. James Joyce learned Dano-Norwegian. Jason?
Ibsen.
Ibsen is right. That's an Ibsen fan. Ooh. First of all, you got to figure out, is it Dano-Norwegian? Am I going to work on Dano today? Norwegian? I don't know. Okay, for 2 points, facts about authors. Upon arriving in the US from Russia in 1926, Alyssa Rosenbaum took this name. The first name rhymes with pine. Upon arriving, Andrew.
Ayn Rand.
Ayn Rand, I'll take it, even though the first name rhymes with pine. Ayn Rand, but Ayn Rand will take for 2 points. Very good. I'm just teasing. For 3 points. Emily Dickinson's father served as treasurer of this college. Emily Dickinson's father served as treasurer of this college. 10 seconds. Time. Dan?
I mean, clearly it's Fairleigh Dickinson, right? Kidding. I'm kidding. It was a joke.
No, Emily Dickinson was the belle of Amherst, so it is Amherst College. Okay, so I tell you, these were interesting. These are not easy. For 4 points. James Thurber and E.B. White shared an office at this magazine founded and edited by Harold Ross. James Thurber and E.B. White shared an office at this magazine founded and edited by Harold Ross. Anne?
The Atlantic?
Incorrect.
Dang it.
It's a break for the red team. You may consult on this one, guys and gals. James Thurber and E.B. White shared an office at this magazine founded and edited by Harold Ross.
Oh no, we're consulting.
Yes. You know, you've got you three and all those Johns. I mean, you should come up with something.
The Johns bring a lot. All right, we're gonna take a guess. The New Yorker.
The New Yorker is right. Yes, very strong shift of 8 points total. Excuse me. Okay, here we go for 5 points in Facts About Authors. Good match so far. P.G. Wodehouse was interned in Berlin for most of World War II, but not because of his stories about Bertie Wooster and this valet. P.G. Wodehouse was interned in Berlin for most of World War II, but not because of his stories about Bertie Wooster and this valet. Five seconds. Oh, I'm sorry this isn't better known. The books are just great. Dan, do you remember?
No, sir.
Bertie Wooster and Jeeves, his faithful valet Jeeves is what we were looking for. Okay, now I think we're going to have some action in this category because it is #1 in the NFL draft. Why do I think I'm going to get some buzzers on this one? #1 in the NFL draft. I will tell you the individual and the year. You tell us which team drafted that individual #1. Okay, here we go for 1 point. 1998, Peyton Manning. 1998, Peyton Manning. Andrew?
The Colts.
Indianapolis Colts is correct for 1 point. #1 in the NFL draft for 2, 1970, Terry Bradshaw. Jason?
Steelers.
Steelers is right for 2 points. 3 points. 2001, Michael Vick. Mike.
The Atlanta Falcons.
That's right for 3 points. 4 points, NFL draft. 2009. Oh, John, that was early. Okay, we won't go for that. But remember, once I start reading it, a buzz means you're buzzing in.
That was from last one. I think it's just
okay.
delayed.
Okay. 2009, Matthew Stafford. 2009, Matthew Stafford. Andrew?
The Lions.
Lions is right. Everybody but Andrew gets a stab at this next one for 5 points. 1974, Ed Too Tall Jones. Jason?
Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys triple stumper, I might add, on the show. And as expected, the two teams ran that category. I know my Kaplanites. Okay, our final category in the first round is Pick Me. But pick, P-I-C, is in quotes. So you know that every response will include the letters PIC, pick me, PIC only. PIC minimum. Okay, for 1 point. Measuring about a foot long, it's the smallest of the woodwinds. Rebecca.
Piccolo.
Piccolo is right for 1 point. Pick me for 2. An awkward situation or a food preserved in brine. Anne?
Pickle.
Pickle is the pick we want. Correct. Pick me for 3. Virile drifter Hal Carter comes to a Kansas town in this William Inge play. Virile drifter Hal Carter. Jason.
Picnic.
Picnic. Triple stumper on the show. Nicely done, sir. 4 points. Pick me. Pace Foods makes this sauce in mild, medium, and
Picante.
and of course, hot varieties of picante is right for 4 points. With 1 point separating the teams. What a good match. For 5 points, here we go. Pick me. On offense, John Stockton and Karl Malone were masters of this 3-word basketball play. Andrew.
Pick and roll.
Pick and roll is correct, which gives All About That Bays, for only the second time in the round, the slight edge. But it's virtually tied, 35-29 for Ad Tech We're Awesome, and the possibility of a real tie since both teams have an odd score. Well done to both teams. I hope you will enjoy the second round where the points are doubled and the scores can and will really change. Okay, here we go, teams. Very good match. I'm excited.
Hey,
Blowouts.
Bob.
Yeah.
Can I give, is there any chance you can give John 1 minute to he's getting a 5-second lag. Can he just try on a different device on his buzzer? Is that allowed?
We'll hold for that. Dan, do you want to advise on this?
Sure. I would just, if John, you can use your computer, I would just resize your windows next to one another. So resize your Zoom window and pull up a web browser, resize that next to it so you're not clicking back and forth. And my 2-year-old also wants to chime in on this apparently in the background. But there's a doggy somewhere. If you want to use your web browser, that should work.
I'm in now.
All right, give a quick test.
Delay.
No, this is the sort of thing we're happy to.
All right, fantastic.
Thanks, everyone.
We're happy to wait for. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Here we go for 2 points. A lot of points in this second round. Scientific theories is our category. Scientific theories for 2 points. The special theory of this was published in 1905. The general one was announced in 1916. Kirsten.
Relativity.
Yes, unmute and answer. That's relatively correct. 2 points. Well done. Scientific theories for 4. This theory is named for an event of about 13.7 billion years ago. Nina.
The Big Bang Theory.
That's right, for 4 points, sorry. Here we go for 6. The butterfly effect, its flapping wings changing the weather, is an example of this theory exploring randomness. The butterfly effect, Andrew?
Chaos theory.
Chaos theory is right for 6 points. Here we go for 8 points. When it comes to this, the weakest of the 4 known forces, it's more than just a theory, it's the law. When it comes to this, the weakest of the 4 known forces, it's more than, John? John?
I didn't buzz for this question. I buzzed for the last one. It's still super delayed for me.
Oh. Okay, well, I'll keep it open and I'll read it again. When it comes to this, the weakest of the 4 known forces, it's more than just a theory, it's the law. Rebecca.
Gravity.
Sure, law of gravity, that's right. Well done. Nice bold clicking there, Rebecca. And here we go for 10 points. Scientific theories. Experiments to directly test GUTs, or these, need 1 trillion times more energy than what's now available. Experiments to test directly GUTs, or these, need a trillion times more energy than what's now available. 10 seconds. Time. No one trusted their GUT. Dan, do you remember?
No, sir.
GUTs are grand unified theories. Grand unified theories, GUTs. Okay, that was a hard one. Did they get it right? No, that was a triple stumper on the show, so no harm there. Okay, next we have Australian history. Australian history for 2 points. In May 1787, Captain Arthur Phillip set sail from England to Australia with some 200 guards and 800 of these and their families. Kirsten.
Prisoners.
Or convicts is correct for 2 points. For 4 points, Australian history. The British began colonizing this island around 1803 in fear, and
Tasmania.
in fear that the French might do so. Tasmania is correct for 4 points, and we are tied. For 6 points, excuse me, Sydney's Anzac, that's capital ANZAC, War Memorial, was built to honor the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, which helped win this war. Sydney's Anzac War Memorial was built to honor the Australian and
World War I.
World War I is right.
I'm out.
Good shot. Next, Australian history for 8. This notorious bushranger's words prior to being hanged at the Melbourne jail in 1880 were, "Such is life." This notorious bushranger's words prior to being hanged at the Melbourne jail in 1880 were, "Such is life." Time. Dan, how are you on
Sorry.
your infamous Australians?
Not very wise.
Oh, it was a triple stumper on the show too. The infamous Ned Kelly. Ned Kelly is what we're looking for. To round this off, we have a surprise substitution, surprise substitution, surprise substitution. La 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 la
la.
Our category, don't mess with taxes. That's TAXES. Don't mess with taxes. Here's your clue for 10 big points. This term for a tax placed on property is Latin for according to value, which is how it's assessed. This term for a tax placed on property is Latin for according to value, which is how it's assessed. 10 seconds. Time. I picked this one because I didn't know it either. Dan?
I pay plenty of taxes on my home, but I do not know the answer to this.
Well, the term for the tax is ad valorem. Ad valorem. Okay. Now we go to a lengthy category with very brief clues. The category, Oscar-winning directors of the 1980s. Oscar-winning directors of the 1980s. I'll give you the clue and the year. You give me the film. Here we go for 2 points. Oscar-winning directors of the 1980s. Oliver Stone for a Vietnam movie. Oliver Stone for a Vietnam movie. John?
Thin Red Line.
No. Break for the blue team. Oliver Stone for a Vietnam movie. And you may consult.
Any ideas?
Is it related to war? Vietnam?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it Born on the
4th of July.
Band of Brother? No.
No, that's later. And that's World War II.
Oh,
Yeah, Born on the 4th of July is
Suck.
my
Sung
That's
Vietnam City.
Ho Chi Minh.
Okay, we need an answer.
Yeah, if we don't feel confident enough,
Yeah, no.
should we?
Pass.
You decided.
Well-
Your call.
Oh,
It's only 2. It's only 2 points.
well, we'll go with Born on the 4th of July.
No, sorry, that's incorrect. The film is Platoon.
Tune. Yeah. I knew that one, Bob.
And yeah, I'm sorry, Dan.
I was thinking that one was in the 70s, but good to know.
Okay. Here we go for Oscar-winning director. Everybody muted again? Oscar-winning directors for Mike. I think you have to mute. Here we go. Thank you. Here we go for 4 points. Oliver Stone for a Vietnam movie, 1989. Oliver Stone for a Vietnam movie, 1989. 10 seconds. Anne. Anne?
Sorry, is that Born on the 4th of July?
It is.
Yes.
It is. That was born on the 4th of July. Yes, 3 years later. It was a triple stumper on the show, by the way. They guessed Apocalypse Now, which did not win Best Director, and that was Coppola. Okay, here we go for Oscar-winning directors of the 1980s for 6. Remember, I need the title of the film. Robert Redford, 1980. Robert Redford. Kirsten.
Well, that was an exit, but I'll take a stab at it. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Incorrect. It's a break for the blue team. Robert Redford, 1980.
Yeah,
No idea.
Rebecca's.
I don't know. I don't know. All I can think of is like definitely not the answer that he's in movie stuff. So
Yeah, we'll pass, Bob.
Okay, I'm guessing that a lot of people here have this as a favorite movie, even though you didn't know. Dan?
Is it Ordinary People?
It is. Ordinary People. Am I right? Fans of the movie? Right. Good film.
never
Okay.
seen it.
Never saw it. Well, it's worth seeing. It was a triple stumper on the show, if that's any consolation.
That's always a consolation to me.
All right, I'll dangle 8 points in front of you with this one. Warren Beatty, 1981. Warren Beatty, 1981. Jason.
Reds.
That's the movie. Another triple stumper, by the way. Reds is correct. Big 8 points. Finally, for 10 points, in Oscar-winning directors of the 1980s, James L. Brooks, 1983. James L. Brooks, 1983. Time. Dan?
Terms of Endearment.
That's the one. I'll bet you there are fans of that one as well. Okay, Kirsten, you have to mute, please. Everybody stay muted until you buzz in. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Here we go. At the end of the first half of the second round, still hugely close. Blue team technically were awesome, 53. Red team, all about that phase, 45. 53 to 45 virtual tie. Maybe we can break it with famous African Americans. Famous African Americans for 2 points. He worked on a Ford assembly line and as a prize fighter before founding Motown Records. He worked on a Ford assembly line and as a prize fighter before founding Motown Records. 10 seconds. Jason.
Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy is right. Another triple stumper. Boy, oh boy, they must have had a lot of dummies on the show that day, because we're just knocking these triple stumpers out of the park. But of course, we're Kaplanites. So, famous African Americans for 4. This tennis player's memoir, Days of Grace, was posthumously published in 1993. Anne.
Arthur Ashe.
That's the man, Arthur Ashe. Famous African Americans for 6. She read a poem at President Clinton's 1993, Anne?
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou, and won the Medal of Freedom from President Obama 20 years later. Okay, you're out of this one, Anne, for 8 points. Famous African Americans. Living in Rags paid off. In 1976, he was honored with a special Pulitzer citation for his contribution to American music. Living in Rags paid off. In 1976, he was honored with a special Pulitzer citation for his contribution to American music. Rebecca.
Dizzy Gillespie.
Incorrect. Good guess, though. Red team, you have a shot at this one for 8 points. I'll repeat it. Living in Rags paid off. In 1976, he was honored with a special Pulitzer citation for his contribution to American music. They prefer to consult privately, evidently, but that's okay.
Now we've got too many competing guesses.
8 points.
Yeah, we're not gonna go for it.
Okay, that would have tied it up. What were your guesses, may we ask?
Our guesses were, so I said Armstrong, and then we had Duke Ellington.
Nope.
And then
Good
Joplin.
guesses. What was the last?
Joplin.
Yes, the master of ragtime, rags, Scott Joplin was what we were looking for. Another triple stumper on the show. And it stumped us too, but it would have tied the score, but if you're not sure at this juncture, and you know that prudence might be worthwhile. Here we go for 10 points though. Famous African Americans. In 1990, he succeeded Ed Koch as mayor of New York City. In 1990, Jason.
Dinkins.
I had a feeling you might remember him. Dinkins is right, and now you have taken over the lead, 57-55. Still anybody's game as we go to the last two categories. First, we have religious matters, or religious matters, however you want to pronounce it, for 2 points. Say a big Sankhya to Vijnana Bhikshu, who wrote a treatise on the Sankhya school of this religion. Say a big Sankhya to Vijnana Bhikshu, who wrote a treatise on the Sankhya school of this religion.
Buddhism.
Rebecca.
Buddhism.
Incorrect. Loss of 2 points. Red team, I'll repeat it for you. Say a big Sankhya to Vijnana Bhikshu, who wrote a treatise on the Sankhya school of this religion.
We're going to guess. Hindu.
Hinduism is correct. At this stage, a 4-point swing can make a big difference, but it's still very, very close. 59-53, favor of the Bays. For 4 points, religious matters. Jesus retired to the Garden of Gethsemane after the Last Supper, which according to the Gospel of Matthew was part of this Jewish festival. Jesus retired to the garden. Kirsten?
Passover.
Passover is right for 4 points. Bayes extending the lead a little bit. For 6 points. Another name for it is Al-Kitab, or the book. It contains 114 surahs, or chapters. Another name for it, Andrew?
The Quran.
The Quran is right for 6 points. Okay. For 8 points in religious matters. Her book, The First Church of Christ, Scientist, and Miscellany, was published posthumously in 1913. Her book, The First Church of Christ, Scientist, and Miscellany, was published posthumously in 1913. John.
Mary Baker Eddy.
Mary Baker Eddy is correct. Correct. Christ scientist. Okay. For 10 points, religious matters. In the 1830s, this founder of a religion and his flock lived in self-sustaining communities called Stakes of Zion. In the 1830s, this founder of a religion, Nina.
I don't remember. Something Mormon religion. Don't know his name.
Okay, I'm sorry. Red team. In the 1830s, this founder of a religion and his flock lived in self-sustaining communities called Stakes of Zion.
We're conferring. We think we know the religion, not the person.
Okay. I wouldn't buzz in with the religion.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're gonna pass.
Okay. What would you have guessed?
The Mormon guy.
Joseph Smith.
I could not give you
Yeah.
partial credit for
Joseph. Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah,
Joseph.
Joseph Smith is
Yes.
correct. Yes.
Right.
Kind of a toss up between Joseph Smith and Brigham Young, but Joseph Smith was the founder. So, okay. It's still within reach for the blue team, but they're going to have to ratchet it up as we go to our final category. What do you know? Now, GN is in quotes. GN. So all of these answers are going to begin with GN. What do you know? GNOW. Okay, let's see what you know about this for 2 points. There's no place like this troll-like creature. Kirsten.
No.
Gnome is right. Guarding treasure in folklore, correct, for 2 points. What do you know for 4? 6-letter adjective meaning distasteful or offensive. Dude, that's totally. Jason?
Gnarly.
Gnarly is the know, correct. For 6 points. To grind the teeth together in rage. Andrew?
Gnaw.
Gnaw is incorrect. Break for the blue team. To grind the teeth together in rage.
Nash is our final answer.
Final answer, Nash is correct. The gnashing of teeth, that's right. For 8 points. Brindled and white-tailed are types of this African and
New.
new. That's right. What's new? That's right. African antelope. That's correct. Now, finally, for 10 points. Unlike schist and various other banded rocks, this rock doesn't readily break along its layers. Unlike schist and various other banded rocks, this rock doesn't readily break along its layers. Nina.
I'm just gonna guess granite.
No, no, that's not right. You want to take a stab, Jason? Unlike schist and other various other banded rocks, this rock doesn't readily break along its layers.
Is this the final question?
Yeah.
Got it. So we can guess risk-free, I guess.
You can.
Sure, we'll guess. I don't know how to pronounce it, but nice, GNEISS.
That's right. Nice or niece, yes. In fact, Alex spelled it out on the show too. Guess nobody told him the pronunciation either. Okay, it was nip and tuck there for a while, but the blue team, the red team rather, ratcheted it up, and we have our final score. All about that base, 87. And technically, we're awesome, 47, and you're all awesome. It was a very good match, and I hope you had a good time. And I thank you so much. And Dan, thank you, of course,